Hello everyone and welcome back to my podcast. My name is Fernanda Ramirez and welcome to A Better You. For this episode, this is kind of a little, I don't know how to say, a little surprise episode. If you're new to A Better You, this is basically a podcast on self-development, self-help, wellness, fitness, lifestyle, becoming the best version of yourself, as well as just listening from my experiences and my advice. And if you know me from YouTube, that is where you get to see my everyday life, but here is where you get to be more inside of my head. And so, if you aren't a subscriber of my YouTube channel, you may not have seen this, but last week I posted a YouTube video that was basically like a podcast episode. It was like a 30-minute talk, and everything I said, I honestly really enjoyed, and I feel like it's a big life update that I want to also update my podcast community, and I wanted to upload this episode onto Spotify and Apple and all of those other platforms. So I'm re-uploading this YouTube video in podcast form with a little bit of an intro here right now, but I just kind of wanted to give that disclaimer because if you did see my most recent YouTube video, you may have already seen this episode. But again, I'm uploading it for those who didn't see it, and just to kind of have it on my own podcast because I do enjoy the conversation that we are having. You guys are going to hear everything that I need to talk about once this podcast episode begins, but to give you a little bit of a warning, this video was technically titled Answering Questions I've Been Avoiding. So you guys are hearing the tea, you're hearing the juice, and near the end, we are having a little conversation of how I feel to be turning 23, how I feel in my newly womanhood energy, and yeah, overall, I feel like this is a conversation on taking control over your power, creating the life that you know you deserve and the life that you want, and overall, just not being afraid of change, as well as not only not being afraid of it, but inviting it, and just embracing life for all that it is and all the human emotions. But yeah, that is basically what this episode is about. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you want to see more episodes like this one where it kind of just follows my train of thought and where I go. It's kind of a little bit not scripted, but anyways, let's get into it. Make sure you give this podcast a rating, swipe up and leave a comment. Make sure to follow the Instagram at abetteryou.byfernanda and stay tuned for the next episode and what comes after this episode. I love you guys and let's get into it. I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions that I've been avoiding, so we might do some little maintenance Q&A questions, as well as, you guys, the day that I'm filming this, it is my birthday in 2 days. I am turning 23 years old. 23, okay? I don't even know what to think about that, because when I think of like my 20s, and it's like, oh girl, you're not just entering them, you're like 23. I don't even want to go there. I don't want to go there. That is a scary thought. I'm not mad about it though. I will say that. I'm not mad. I'm very excited for this year and completely feel like I'm in a new chapter of my life. I'm really excited, honestly, to keep documenting it. What I was going to say with that is that I wanted to use this time to kind of give a small little reflection on turning 23, how I feel, just like birthdays in general. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of emotions surrounding their birthday. A lot of people get really sad on their birthdays. I honestly never cry on my birthdays. I usually feel very excited, but it is definitely a reflective time to look within and say, like, what is going on with my life? What do I like? What do I not like? What do I want to take into the next year? What kind of person do I want to be? Etc. So there's definitely a lot of reflecting going on recently, as well as the fact that 2024 is almost ending, which is insane to say. I don't even know where this year went. And yeah, I don't even know where to start this video. Like I'm sweating. If only you knew. If only you knew. I want to start off with the tea of this video, probably why you clicked on this video, because kind of everything else revolves around this as well and kind of my reflections in general. When I asked you guys online to ask me questions that I have been avoiding, let me just say every single question, there was maybe an exception of 5 questions, every single question was, where's your boyfriend? Are you guys still dating? Are you guys still together? When are you getting married? When are you moving in with your boyfriend? Can you please show your boyfriend? In fact, I was like, y'all even care about me? No, everyone wants to know the relationship status. And you guys, this is very, I don't even know how to say it. I am no longer in a relationship. I am single. I literally have not been single since I was like 18. So this is painful to say. I don't even know how to address this. Not that it's like, you know, you guys might not even care. Not that it's like a huge deal, but I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know who's watching this video, so there's that. Before we get into the whole situation, something that I've learned actually about myself throughout the past while, as I've been doing the shadow work, as I always tell you guys to do, I have realized that I'm the type of person who is really bad at showing emotion in person. And something that I've actively been trying to work on for the past month is letting myself be seen emotionally, being emotionally vulnerable, and like not putting a wall up and acting like things are okay. I'm really awkward at like crying in front of people. I genuinely can't cry on camera. Like if I tried, they would just dry up the minute I start the camera. I feel really awkward when people are like empathetic towards me. I don't even know why. There's probably some rooted stuff in there. I just want to say that off the bat as I'm explaining this, because I feel like I don't know how to present myself. I don't know how to react. I don't know how you guys expect me to react. I don't want to be crying and like that's not authentic to me. I don't want to be distraught because that's not how I feel in this very moment. What I'm trying to say is this is my authentic reaction. Obviously, everyone reacts differently to situations. This happened now, it's been over a month, and the reason why I didn't say it sooner was just, for one, I wanted to reflect on the situation. I wanted to really sit in it and be in it and not just jump to conclusions and start posting about it online, because I don't think that's respectful to me or him. Again, like I was saying earlier, I feel really awkward when I get a lot of messages or people telling me like, oh, I'm so sorry for you, like, you know, just being overly, like giving me attention for the wrong reasons, if that makes sense. Like that makes me really uncomfortable. So I kind of just wanted to let that simmer and not really address it yet until I felt that I felt ready, until the time was right, until, you know, some time had passed. And so now is the time. And I don't also want to go too in depth with the reasons why or whatever, just again, out of respect for me, out of him, out of just the situation, as well as I don't really love having all of my personal emotional feelings online. As I'm literally telling you, it's hard for me to be emotional in front of my friends and family, let alone the internet that's going to be here forever. But I also feel that I owe it to you guys to give you an explanation, to give you some sort of update, to give you just anything, because you guys have literally been on, like, if you've been watching me since the beginning, he's been with me since the beginning. My whole existence on the internet has been me having a boyfriend. And so I definitely don't think that the right thing to do is just ignore it and pretend like nothing happened and whatever. And also, who knows what'll happen in the future. I feel like a lot of what I feel like my purpose is to take my experiences that I have, whether they are good, whether they are bad, and turn it in the opposite direction and kind of find a way to find the positivity in it, find a way to find wisdom in it, find a way to inspire you guys out of it, and like give you some sort of advice. So that is kind of where I'm coming from in this standpoint. So for one, I want to say I have no bad blood with him at all, literally at all. I have so much love for him. I still do. I think he does for me as well, obviously. The way we started dating was because we were best friends. Our relationship was able to last so long because being friends was the foundation of our relationship. I honestly recommend that to anybody going into a relationship, because you can never have a bad day when you're with your best friend, if that makes sense. Like at the end of the day, we were always laughing. We were always having a good time. I think getting together because we were best friends was a beautiful experience, the best experience I could have had. But now being 23, I'm a completely different person than when we started dating, and we grew together. We did a very good job at growing independently and doing our own things while still maintaining our bond. And you know, he gave me all the freedom to do whatever I want. I gave him all the freedom to do whatever he wanted. And ultimately we were able to grow on our own, side by side, supporting each other, hyping each other on, creating memories together, etc. I do think though it is a very unique situation to be in a long-term relationship, your first relationship being a long-term relationship since you were 18. I think that's a very unique experience. I think especially in the career that I have chosen to go in, where I'm always traveling, where I've been living a very independent life, and you know, he is very ambitious in his own way and doing his own things. As much as it is possible for us to grow independently side by side, I do ultimately think that it is in our best interest to explore having our own time, growing as our own individuals, and learning experiences that we need to learn without the confinement of being in a relationship. And I think for me, this is something that I felt was necessary, and something that I feel that I would regret once I am older, and if I didn't have this chance to fully pour all my love into myself. I've never had that. I know that there's so much to experience. That is something that is really important to me, and I feel like at my core, being authentic is like my number one value. And so to live a life that didn't feel 1000% authentic in the way that I want to like look back on my life when I'm older, I feel like this time had to happen. I feel like already in the past month and a half, I have given myself so much attention, and I've felt emotions that I've never felt before. I've been able to express myself in ways that I haven't before. I've been able to challenge maybe internal like fears that I've had. I'm honestly really proud of myself for being so independent and sticking with what feels authentic to me and sticking to something that feels in alignment with who I am in this current moment. I feel really proud of myself for picking me, choosing me, and overall I just feel really proud and confident in choosing to follow my own intuition. And so that is kind of where I sit right now. I also feel like this age, and this is advice for you guys, if you are in your early 20s, this is the time to be selfish for yourself, to invest in yourself, to prioritize yourself, to think, what do I want? You know, not with the influence of anyone else. A life where you have zero regrets, honestly, and zero hesitations. I think you're able to create your dream life when you are in 100% alignment. And I think it takes a lot of internal work to evaluate every aspect of your life and say, is this 100% true? Is this 100% true? Is this 100% true? And if something is not, or if something is slightly making me question things, if something is slightly not working for me, how can I fix that situation so that I keep paving this way for myself to lead to where I want to go? That is my advice for you guys. That is my current situation. Again, just to kind of wrap that up, we have not been together for over a month. Who knows what'll happen in the future. I have so much respect for him. I really value him as a human being, and even spending this past like time without him, I've had to explain the situation in person so many times to like different people, and every time like I really don't have bad things to say, just because, you know, we dated for so long and he was such an inspiration even to me, and such a support system, genuinely such a unique, authentic person. And I think that's why we vibe so well together, because it's two authentic souls. What could go wrong? You know, what could go wrong? What could go wrong, actually, now that I'm saying that, is that when you have so much respect for someone and so much love for someone, I think if you have any, even an ounce of doubt, it is disrespectful to that person to stay in a relationship. And I think ultimately that's what it came down to. I feel like at this age, I'm able to remove myself from my own emotions and think like, this isn't about you anymore. This is about the other person. And at this time, you have to do what is in the other person's best interest as well. Like, it's not just about you. And I think when I was younger, I probably would not have ever come to that conclusion or been able to decipher that, if that makes sense. But now that I'm older, I do understand. I've never been in this situation before, so I have no clue how this is gonna go. Now I'm gonna talk about myself, okay? So just, we're gonna put that in like a little box and just like put it over here right now, okay? As for myself, as much as this past month and a half has been a roller coaster of emotions, the first little bit being obviously quite traumatic. I was so emotional. If you guys watched my healing era video, you guys may have put two and two together that that was kind of the reason for why I was in my healing era. I was obviously very sad. I did all of the things to make myself feel better. And again, looking back on that video, I'm so proud of myself for knowing how to treat myself when I am down. And I think if you are going through any down period, definitely watch that video, because I'm honestly just proud of myself. Like, I don't think I would have been able to bounce back from something so emotional when I was younger, when I didn't have all the tools in my toolbox as I do now, you know? Like, when I have some sort of emotional turbulence, I know what is going to make me feel better. I know that I have to give myself the time to feel. I know that I need to reach out to people, use my resources to feel better, and that I did. So I'm very proud of myself for that. And now that I'm feeling a lot better, I just want to say, like, as much as that is so sad, and if you keep dwelling on the past and keep, you know, rummaging through those negative emotions, you will keep staying stagnant in that energy. But when you know, flip the coin and you start looking at the world as your oyster and seeing how much possibility there is out there, I just want to say, like, I'm so excited for this time in my life. I'm so excited to just live in alignment and just figure out who I am without having anything kind of telling me who I am. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's kind of like one of those situations where you're with your hometown friends and then you move to a new country or a new city and you're like, wait a second, who am I? Who am I outside of my hometown and my hometown friends and my family and my childhood home? Like, it's a completely new world. And that's even how I felt when I moved out of my childhood home. Like, when I didn't have anything around me that was familiar or nostalgic, I didn't even know who I was. And that is when I think you have the ultimate space to transform and to become a new human. And so right now, being in this energy of being single, which is a little, like, I can't even say that without like kind of like wincing a little bit because I've never been that. I'm just excited to see who I am at 23. I'm excited to see who Fernanda has become. Who is she under different situations? Is she spontaneous? Is she super emotional? Is she becoming emotionally vulnerable? Is she good with connecting? Is she like, who is she is what I'm trying to say. So I feel like, you know, being in your 20s, it's a time of self-discovery. It's a time to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes so you don't make them when you're older. It's a time to, for me, I want to just have as many experiences as I can. And also, for one, to have a rich life. I really thrive on connection, relationships, and having fun and joy. Like, that is the core of like what my life is based around. So I just want to be able to say yes to everything. I want to have these experiences to look back on, to have so many memories. And even I feel like with my podcast, a big thing that I believe in is living out the experiences and then being able to kind of intake that knowledge, internalize it, and regurgitate it out and give advice and help other people. And that is like my mission. So I'm really excited to have new experiences and therefore be able to talk about them and kind of teach other people or give advice and to talk to people that are younger than me or to, you know, build connections with people that I would have never thought I could have. So I'm feeling honestly really hopeful, really excited. Also, I feel like I've talked about this before, but like I really want to move to New York. I think that is something that's going to be in my plans for next year. So that's something that's really exciting. You guys know I would say just recently moved, but I didn't really. I've been living in this new apartment since May, but I'm just starting to feel like I'm really coming into my own here. It just feels like everything is new. New apartment, new view, which by the way, this view could not have come at a better time. This is the exact healing view that I needed at this point in my life. New friends, I have a new team around me. I've been traveling so much this year and I can't wait to continue traveling. My lease is gonna end next May, and then at that point, I potentially, I don't know, maybe will I move back home and just live abroad, like move to different cities at different points in my life? Like, I would love to do that. I would love to move countries. Like, there is just so much that I want to do, and my mission, if I only have one life, is to do the things that I say I want to do. I don't just want to talk about it and not do it. I want to do the things. So I'm really excited to put forward all of my ambition, all of my wishes, all of my dreams, and just truly create my life. And again, not to sound corny, not to sound cheesy, not to say things that I've already said before, but if you guys have been watching me from the very beginning, you know, I started YouTube like any other girl that wanted to start it. You know, I was working at a restaurant, I was doing my thing, watching my favorite creators, watching people live the life I want to live, and I use that as inspiration, as motivation, and then I use my own hard work, my own drive. I kept kind of tunnel vision for what I want, and I have been so lucky and so fortunate to be like creating the life that I want to live. And it means so much to me when I have people in my comments or people message me and be like, it's so inspiring that you're like living your life authentically, that you're like so brave and so courageous and being so independent. Side note, I was just traveling in Europe for 2 weeks by myself, 2.5 weeks, meeting so many new people. Like, I would have never thought that I would have been able to do that when I was younger. Now I'm like living in my dream apartment. Like, I have goosebumps just talking about it, and I want to continue to live out my life like that. And again, I feel like I always have to say it. I know I've been like so privileged to even be able to experience this, and I know that there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, not everyone can live this life that I'm living, but for myself, I know the work that I've put into it, and I've tried my best to be so honest, so open, so authentic, and like show that whole show the whole process online raw as I can, honestly. I just hope and I pray that I am healthy, that the people around me are healthy enough so that I can keep living this life and keep doing what I want to do. So that's all I could ask for. And I hope that you guys stick around to watch where my life unfolds. Cause I'm just like, you guys are my friends. Like, you guys, I don't even know. I'm so excited. It's a little ladybug on my window. I feel like that's good luck. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel very honest. And I'm an honest person, guys. I would not be lying to you. This is truth. This is my honest self. If you were here sitting beside me, I'd be saying the same exact thing. But I'm just so excited. I'm 23. Guys, what does that even mean? I'll tell you what it means. Okay, let me actually, let's get into it. I've been talking for so long. You guys probably like, the fuck? This is a podcast, basically. I'm sorry. What does this mean, you may ask? What does 23 mean to me? Let me tell you. When I started my podcast last year, I made an episode from going from girlhood to womanhood. And I talked about it because it was very prevalent in my mind at that time. I was like, I don't even know what it means to be a woman. I'm just a girl. I basically filmed that episode being very open-minded. It was open-ended. I was like, women above me, tell me, give me advice. Tell me how I'm gonna go through this transition because I don't know yet and I don't feel qualified to speak on how to embrace your feminine energy when I don't feel like a woman yet. It is 1 year later, I'm 23 years old, and I feel like a freaking woman, okay? I feel like I have fully embraced my feminine energy, the light feminine energy, the dark feminine energy, the multi-dimensional woman that I am. I feel fully in that. I feel like I've embraced it. I obviously, if there's someone older than me watching this and you're like, ah, she knows nothing, you're right, I probably know nothing. But at this age, I am the youngest I'll ever be and the oldest I'll ever be. And I feel like I just feel so much older than I did last year. I feel like this year, and again, I know for you guys, you're like, girl, we've been waiting for the YouTube videos. I know, okay? And it pains me that YouTube has not been my #1 priority, but I feel like my #1 priority this year has been self-exploration, has been discovering who I am, has been traveling, having these all different experiences, and like, I just feel like I've grown so much. Like I feel like a completely different human than I was last year. And if even 6 months ago, me knew where I'd be in 6 months, I would probably freaking have a panic attack and faint, okay? Anyways, my point of that is to say that 23 for me means self-discovery. It means confidence. It means owning who I am, being authentic, rocking what I got, and just like saying yes, feeling free, feeling spontaneous, feeling mature and in my boss energy, being independent, being strong, being wise, being inspiring to whoever, while also being creative, being fun, being playful, feeling relaxed, feeling like I can trust other people, feeling like the world is my oyster, and having a little bit of naivety. Is that a word? Being a little bit naive while also knowing, and just like, I feel like those two worlds is how I feel right now. I feel the most in my light energy, being fun and playful and like childlike and being curious and just like jumping around on my bed, while also being like, hell yeah, I live by myself. I don't need anyone. I can travel the world by myself and not rely on anyone. I trust myself and I can have my own business and I can have my own podcast and I can have my own things, and like that is so meaningful to me. Also, I want to say, like, there was this like quote or like this saying or I don't know, something, but it's like, I am the first woman in my lineage who has probably ever had the autonomy or the courage or the ability to be able to live alone, to be able to be single at this age, to be able to be independent and to like make my own decisions and live my life however I want to live it. I'm probably like the first woman of my whole lineage to be able to do that. Like, all of that to say that I'm very grateful to be in the position that I am right now, and I do not take that lightly, and I hope that this inspires like anyone watching this video to remember that they have autonomy over their life. They have the ability to do what they want, and I hope that this gives you courage to make any decisions that you are currently kind of pending on, and to trust your intuition, because that is a very also feminine trait, and like we have the ability to, we just know, we have an inner knowing, okay? And I feel very passionate right now. And maybe it's the so much caffeine talking, or maybe it's the actual, it's the life coming through me that I need to speak out to you. But like, I just feel so passionate about this topic. I feel very emotional, not even in a sad way, but like in a surge of, I really just feel like I'm in the right place right now. I could talk about this forever. I really could. I just like kind of want to end that short and sweet, but I hope this kind of answered all the questions, and kind of, I'm trying to think of like if I'm missing anything, but like I just hope you guys know, as much as I've mourned what was, and I'm so sad that that period of my life is over, I truly believe, and actually I'm gonna reference the tattoo I got. If you guys know, if you know, you know, I got a tattoo in March that was 555, that means change. And I said to myself that this year is going to be a big year of change and healing and transformation for myself. And the reason why I got 555 was to remind myself that change is not a bad thing. Change is inevitable. Change is the only thing that's consistent. And the sooner you embrace change, the sooner you can, you know, live your life without feeling attached to anything. And change is good. Change is exciting. Change is what life is about. We're here to evolve and like live new chapters. And as much as I'm so sad of the chapter that is closing, and it's kind of closing my youth in a way and closing like just what was so much of my life, I'm so excited to live this new chapter and to embrace who I am now and to see where it takes me. And again, just to speak on the relationship part, if that means that we may be together again in the future, so be it. That will be great. That'll be exciting. If that's what's right, then that will be right. And I will embrace that as well. And I won't feel like ashamed or guilty for going back on my decision. Like, not at all. Whatever feels right in the moment will feel right. And you know what they say, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Trust in the universe. The things that are meant for you will always be there. And so that's how I feel. I hope that you guys take this video exactly how I mean for it to come across. Don't get anything I said twisted. I feel a lot of energy right now, and it's like mixed emotion energy, but I'm trying to channel it in a way that feels inspiring to you guys and in a way that is excited. At the end of the day, at my core, I am an excited person, and I'm a pretty optimistic person. I'm a pretty positive person, and I tend to see on the bright side, and I don't like to sit in my sad feelings or in my sorrow. And it's not even that I don't like to sit in it, but I feel like I've come to the point in my own healing journey where I'm able to bounce back quickly. I'm able to internalize those feelings, do the things I need to do to feel that, to honor those sad feelings, and I'm able to transform and, you know, move on in a way that is like open and not just brushing emotions under the rug or not just hiding what was, you know, just embracing what was and embracing what will be. So I feel really good right now. Today's also such a beautiful sunny day. I've had so much caffeine. I'm feeling very inspired. I'm so excited to be 23. Like, I feel so weird. I feel honest. And you know what? One last thing I want to say. Another thing that I've learned with being in my feminine energy, evolving to my womanhood, is that all emotions can coexist at the same time. There is not one way to handle any situation, and you shouldn't shame anyone for the way that they handle their situation. Every feeling is valid. If you feel happiness and sadness at the same time, that is okay. If you feel sad one day and the next day you feel happy, that is okay. If you feel angry and then you feel like laughing, that is okay. That is a part of the human experience, and not only that, but that is a part of, I feel like, the woman experience. You can feel all things at the same time and carry space for all of those things, and I have so much respect for those who can honor all of their feelings and sit in them all without letting one consume them or without dismissing another one. They are all valid. That was super long-winded and this video has been so long, but I just had to say that. I actually don't want to do the Q&A anymore. I was gonna answer more of your questions. Bruh, there was only one question and it was this. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying to think of like some parting words, but like this video means a lot to me, and I feel like this video is something that when I'm older I'm gonna look back on and I'm gonna be really proud of myself. And at the end of the day, if I said things that were wrong or right or taken weirdly, whatever, I know how I feel, and that's what matters to me. So I hope you guys took something from this video. I hope you stick around for this next chapter of my life. There's so many exciting things coming, and if you don't see me on YouTube, which I should be, but if you don't, I'm on every other platform. I'm chronically online, unfortunately. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon, and oh, one last thing. Don't send messages to anyone. Not that I think you would, but don't do it. Don't do it, because that would be really unfortunate. Let's just live in the now. Okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. You're the best. I believe in you, and